In this video, I'm going to install a new app called Handoff using the one-click install feature of BFFless. Handoff is a file sharing app that I use to share files back and forth between Claude on my VPS server, and it can upload Markdown files, specs, HTML, prototypes. It's sort of an alternative to Claude's artifact, where you can upload assets to Claude's own internal file hosting. This way you have control of it. It goes to your local file storage or your bucket. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. From the admin homepage of the BFFless app, click install and choose a project. Oh, it looks like I already have one from testing. I'm gonna delete the handoff one and reinstall it. So it's just a fresh install. So click install, and we're gonna choose a new project. Call it handoff. And by default, the subdomain is going to be handoff. You can choose it to be something else if you'd like. We're going to stick with handoff and install the app. Great. Once it's installed, you can get the link to it. And here it is. Let's go ahead and create a new file. New folder, TMP. And by default, everything's going to be private inside of your folder. You can make a folder public, and the child folders will inherit that permission. So now everything is public. I'm going to go ahead and create a folder here called private. And so I have a private folder. If I make it private, make private. Great. So now I have a private folder and a public folder. Let's go ahead and upload some files. Here's a file in the public folder. You can go and look at these files. You can see there's a little header up here that has some additional options, details about it, sharing functionality. Now keep in mind the sharing is on a folder level, not on a file level. So if I were to share this, I'd be sharing the folder. And you can also create a direct a link itself, so it can be private, but you can share it with someone without giving them full access to the folder that it's in. So that's that folder. If I were to go back here, I could also grab, say, a link from here. It's private. If I were to open it up in incognito window, I could still access it because I was given the share link, which has a token in it. So the share link is public to everyone. So be careful with who you share that with. If I were to just try to load this page in a incognito window, it wouldn't work because it's private. Now, if I were to go to my public folder, so here's my public folder. I could load this in an incognito window. It's public. I can't do anything to it. I can't delete it because I don't have the permissions to, but there it is. So next, I want to show you how to allow Claude to pull down these things. So maybe you have a screenshot you want to share with Claude, and then also allow Claude to upload spec files, HTML prototypes, basically full access to this application. It's super helpful. So let's go ahead and start a fresh session here. I'm on a VPS server. I'm going to remove the directory I was on and create a new one. All right. So there's nothing in here. The first thing we're going to want to do is configure our BFFless token so that Claude has access to it. To do that, we go npx BFFless login, and we're going to grab an API key. So admin.shp.app, go to settings, API keys, create global API key, some name, create global API key, copy the value, paste it in here, and we're connected. The next thing we're going to want to do is run this npx command, which is a skill install. And so we're going to install the Handoff API skills. And this is also documented in the GitHub Handoff apps README. You can just grab it right here. So coming back to the skill, we're just going to install it at the project level, and this will give Claude a lot of extra context to what we're trying to do. Great. Let's start off by going back to our Handoff app, grabbing this. Let's grab this and copy the link. Now, without any permissions, Claude should be able to grab this file just like we could. Can you see this file? So it should be able to download that file, see what it is. Yes, downloaded it. Renders fine. It's a YouTube thumbnail. Perfect. So it's able to have, it has read access to that file. And that's usually just how I share links with Claude for, hey, what's wrong with this? Take a look at it. And it's a great way to share images to a VPS, to Claude running on a VPS. Next, though, I want Claude to be able to write to my Handoff app. And so let's go ahead and do that. Can you now write to the, let's just grab the dir. If so, create a markdown file example. So this would be like you've sort of gone through something like Grill with Docs or a planning session, and it's created a spec file, and you want to review that spec file. And you want to save it somewhere. Maybe you don't want part of your project, but you want to have that. So you have Claude. Here it's using the skills API that we just installed. You have Claude upload it to your bucket or to your storage, not to your bucket, to your Handoff app. And so this way you will actually render and you can view it and come back to it later. It's a file server. So let's see, it use the skill. It needs to figure out what the ID of that file path is because it uses IDs for that. And it's using the token we set up, npx BFFless auth token. Great, file created. Refresh it, example MD, awesome. And it renders our markdown just like GitHub would. You can view the source. You can share it. Let's go back to view rendered, and you can actually comment on it as well, which is pretty cool. Add comment. This is great. Okay. So that is how it can upload a folder, a markdown file inside of our folder we created. And also it can do HTML. Can you now do a HTML website example? Now, one difference about this is it needs to be in a subfolder, which is labeled as a site. That way it knows how to render the index HTML and all of its relative URLs. Here's our example website. So it rendered HTML, created in this folder called example site, and is done. So that in a nutshell is what the Handoff app is. It's really simple, but it's super useful. The one-click install made it really easy to install the app and to be able to upgrade the app. If we look at what it did, you can see that there is now a project called Handoff. It added a bunch of files as well as pipelines. So here is our Handoff app inside of the backend of BFFless. As we upgrade it in the future, you'll see additional versions show up over here. The pipelines are all right here. There's a bunch of them. This is how the files get uploaded. This is how sharing works. This is how all the features on the backend side work. It's done through pipelines. All this code is public. It's in the BFFless apps repo. So you're welcome to check it out. And yeah, that's Handoff. Next video I'm going to be doing on the Studio app, and I'm actually going to be post-processing this Handoff video. So hope you enjoy.